This is Nnewi Road by Miracle Junction, one of the dump sites here in Nnewi. And as you can see, it's behind the school, Nnewi House School, which houses over 1,000 students. As the waste at the various dump sites in Nnewi and across Anambra State continues to pile up, there is an urgent need for a palliative measure to contain the situation. Today we'll be discussing with Ms. Chizoba Adigwe, who is a waste management project developer on the way forward. Ms. Chizoba, you're welcome.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
Fine, thank you. Thank you.
So we understand you're a waste management project developer. So what can you tell us about waste management?
Well, waste management it's part of the utilities industry. For me, waste management is actually a question of health and safety. It's something that, it's not a luxury, it's a necessity. Strategic waste management, because there is waste management going on. It's just that it's not strategic waste management. It's not done orderly. It's not done properly. So it's important that when you're in this area, because the pollution that we are suffering from waste is very serious right now in Anambra State, across the entire country, because untreated waste that's dumped recklessly destroys your groundwaters, because waste permeates the ground, and waste pollution doesn't just go down, it spreads like this. So if you are reckless with waste in a town, a village, in a Nnewi, it's going to eventually affect other areas. So that's why, in order to for health and safety reasons, so that we can not be drinking poisoned underground water. Even the air you breathe. When we burn waste, it's a terrible procedure, because we're breathing in toxins. So it's a health and safety matter, I think, yeah.
You said the word strategic, and you know Nnewi is gradually becoming an urban city. What do you think can be an immediate solution to this?
We need to commission some waste treatment plants as soon as possible. That's what we're working on. I know that there are other companies who are also working on this initiative. The Anambra State government, Governor Obiano, he's been very, very insistent, and he's worked with us and I believe other people to try and get plants, waste treatment plants built. We anticipate, by God's grace, by maybe 2020, we will be commissioning our plant. That is the only solution, because there's nowhere else to put waste.
Okay, you're talking about commissioning your plant. Is that part of the MOU that was signed last year?
Yes.
So can you briefly tell us the details of this MOU and the plant in Ozobolo?
Well, we have a plant, so it's going to be, our investors are foreign investors. The builder operators are foreign, they're German, and the strategic technical partner who will operate and manage will be a French company. What we've done is we're targeting the best in the world, and the idea is to bring them here to do it locally, because we need something that's sustainable, not something that's going to break down in a year's time, you know, and then we're back to square one. So obviously these relationships and bringing these stakeholders takes a little bit of time, but the state government has a share in the plant on the basis that waste is owned by the state. So they're the ones who are guaranteeing that the waste is brought to the plant, because in order for the plant to run, it needs the waste. So that's a very important part. So the relationship between the state and the company will always be there. You know, it's a 25-year project. The 25 years isn't long. It goes very quickly. So I'm actually even thinking on how we can extend the project after 25 years, because you know, that's why we need to work with the best people globally who can come and show us how they've done it, what they're doing, and do it with us and for us. Okay,
so but I want to understand, is the project in process? Has the building of the plant started, or we have to wait till 2020?
We hope that 2020 the plant will commission, i.e. switch on. We're looking at summer 2020. The plant can take we're talking 6 to 9 months to build. Depending on who you're working with. Yeah. And I think I've already said, we work with the best. We want the best to do it. You know,
Okay.
we're quite intense, and we take this very seriously. So once the waste has been secured, which we're also in the process of doing, working together with the current Commissioner of Environment, Michael Okonkwo,
Yes.
who takes it very seriously as well. The waste needs to be secure, and this is something that will be done through the House of Assembly.
Okay.
You know, because you're talking about waste for 25 years.
Yes.
We know that in Nigeria, administrations change very quickly,
Yes.
like what happened in Lagos. Once an administration changed there, the company that does waste now has problems. So these are things that need to be secured. If you're asking investors to bring in millions, we're talking a project over 40 million to invest, you need to secure the waste. So that's what we expect. That's the government's part. And the rest we can do ourselves.
Okay, so, but so far, what is the government saying?
No, the government have been very helpful. We're in discussions with the Commission on how to secure the waste, because there are various interested parties when it comes to waste management, waste collection. So we need to bring the parties together. And you know, we have a proposal that we have put to the Commissioner Mike, which he's currently working on. The issue is that an investor will not sign on that last dotted line until the fuel has been secured for the required amount of time. Okay. And we work with government investors who are very, you know, they're very understanding. They know we're a developing country. They know they know the potential of the southeast. They know a bit about Nnewi. Okay. So, however, you know, we need to secure the waste. You know, so that's what we're working on right now with this current administration, who I have to say have been incredibly encouraging. The governor, William Obiano, he's been really good, and his commissioner too. Yeah.
Okay, so prior to 2020, when the work commences, what do you think we can do? Because as it is now, if you look at the various sites, we're using Nnewi as a yardstick. You see that it's causing traffic on the road, some in front of other people's homes. So what can we do prior to 2020?
What needs to be done is that collectors need, the current group of collectors really need to, you know, understand that waste cannot just be dropped randomly. I believe the Nnewi waste dump site is called Ugwa Batiozu, which is a terrible name. So, unfortunately, the waste will still have to be dumped there, but let it be there, because what we tend to find is that there's waste scattered randomly. That is not acceptable. There's one of the questions that I believe that you might ask me shortly in terms of the ban of plastic bags.
Yes, polythene bags.
Fantastic. If you can get that done legally, the people you reach are the villagers, the people who perhaps have less awareness. Once they know that there's no more plastic bags, they're going to ask a question, why? And then you can explain to them the environmental impact of plastic, of untreated waste, so they can start, because in the long run, like for example, Germany, the reason why it's such a clean country is because everybody at the grassroots participates in that process. So if we can start reaching our villagers and local people, before you know it, they ask questions, and they will then start, you know, managing their waste in their households more responsibly. For example, separation. You know, when I came to Nigeria in 2015, the household where I live, I had to teach my household, we have to recycle. We have to separate things. You don't put plastic with food let's compost our food waste. You know, you can composting is very easy to do. All you have to do is leave food waste, biological waste, you cover it for a while, mix it up, and then you can actually develop good compost. So finding a way to make our people more aware, because everybody has to contribute for this to succeed. I think it's very important. And if by banning plastic bags, the questions will be asked by our villagers, then I think that's the way forward.
Okay. You mentioned about the Lagos waste management. Yes. Can you tell us how it works and how that can be implemented here in Anambra State?
Okay, well, Lagos, there was a great company, Visionscape, that was handling waste, but I think, you know, politics of Nigeria, for some reason, I don't think Visionscape are doing it anymore because there was a change of administration in terms of governorship, and unfortunately for Lagos State, they didn't secure waste under one vehicle. Now, the mistake that Visionscape made is when you come into an ecosystem, you don't just kick everybody out because there are people there who have been doing this job. They have the experience. Let me give you an example. When our plant is built, our employers are going to be the scavengers. The people that we will, you know, give contracts to help work with us are people who are already part of the industry. We work together because we will learn from them and they will learn from us. It's a cooperation. And I think in Lagos, what happened is that one company came and tried to, you know,
push everybody
out.
out.
That doesn't work, you know. So but you know, Lagos is very big and it's very political. The ease, Anambra, I don't think we'll have even 1/10 of the questions Lagos has, simply because we're smaller, and I think people we know ourselves better. And if we can, all the stakeholders within the waste industry, we will all sit down and we will build a plant, you know, but I can't bring people from Germany to work in the plant.
Definitely.
You know, so it's going to be us.
It's going to be employment for the local.
For the local, we'll collaborate with the people currently doing the work, and our local engineers are to teach them about the technology, even send some abroad to learn, because we're leapfrogging. Even in places like the UK, Italy, and certain other parts of Europe, they're still dumping waste in the ground. We don't want to do that. We're going to the German level, which is the best level. So we're leapfrogging the practice of the British, and we're going straight to the Germans, who practically make the waste disappear. There's a process. It's not rocket science, but it does need to be learned. So they will teach us, and we will move forward.
Oh, that means you're looking forward to a beautiful collaboration with your company. That's the state and your company. We're looking forward to a beautiful collaboration.
And our local people.
Okay, now talking about, you know, your projects, you know, you being a waste management project developer, how has it been for you, considering that it's an alien, you know, concept, especially here in Nigeria? So what is your take on that?
Well, the technology is alien in a lot of other countries. Scandinavia, they use it. Germany, Austria, Switzerland, the more developed European countries, that's what they use. So for us, really, the need here is so much. That's, first of all, there has to be a demand for something, and there is a huge demand. So that's very advantageous for us, and because we have the support of ordinary people. I know that they are everybody's. Well, as soon as you say you're into waste management, they're like, oh, wonderful, you know. And the other part, what we do as project developers, we bring in the big guns. I'm not an engineer. I can't get. I'm not a waste person, you know. So, but I bring in the people who are experts at it, you know. So they're the people who will do what they will do and tell us and teach us how to do it, and we'll just follow them and gradually develop it ourselves. So I think here is the best opportunity in Anambra State. You know, it's my home state. So it's always nice to tidy up your own house, isn't it?
Yes, it is. So, but tell us, where exactly are you from, Anambra State?
I'm from Oka. My dad is from Oka. My mom is from Obosi.
Wow, it seems like you lived abroad all your life.
Yes, I was born and raised in the UK, but my substantive years were spent in Germany, where I lived for about 8 years. That's where I learned about the technology and learned about waste management and how clean an environment can actually be, you know.
So do you speak German?
Yes, ich kann ein bisschen Deutsch sprechen, but nur ein bisschen.
Man, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. It's good to see you coming back home.
It's important, it's very important.
So tell us a bit about Carbon Africa and how you started, and you know, and how you thought about home. Okay. You know.
Gosh, professionally, I'm a lawyer. So when I was working in Germany, I worked for a company that was involved in environmental, we call it carbon credits. It's a very long story. However, this company introduced me to the environmental protection laws and industries. And when you learn about the pollution that waste, untreated waste does, you realize the need. And I'm Abumoya Anambra, and I know the condition that my state is in. Many years ago, I brought a friend, one of my friends. She came to visit me. She's British, and she loved Anambra. We took her to Onitsha market. But one question she asked, she said, "Why is there so much rubbish everywhere?" And then I looked around and I said, I can't answer that question. So the experience I had with my former company, teaching me about environmental protection and the importance of it, and plus having strong ties back home, we saw an opportunity to have an impact. It's all about an impact. And I actually encourage all foreign-born Anambra people, if there's something you learn abroad, we need it here. Europe is developed. You can't make an impact in Europe, but you can actually make an impact here. And we do currently have a government, a state government environment, which actually, will allow people entry to use the skills that we learn abroad to make our homes better. So this is the advice I would give to people who are similar to myself. Okay. So I learned it abroad, and I know it can impact the most in my home. So that's the whole idea.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Last question. Just give us last piece of advice, for people at home here who are watching you, and for those who are outside, what you have to say to them.
There's hope. We have a beautiful. Our state is wonderful, and globally nothing is easy. Things are getting tougher for everybody globally. So the best thing really to do is find what you can do at home to make your home better, more comfortable. There is hope. The new generation is very important. The youth have so much power. We've seen this in revolutions that have happened in Sudan, in Algeria. You have a right to demand a better quality of life from your leaders. You make that demand, obviously in a peaceful way. And you also cooperate with your leaders, turn away from crime and disorder and just try and be more disciplined. And, if leadership can cooperate together with the youth, we can make a better future, because this is the only home we have. Exactly. I know a lot of people want to go abroad, but abroad isn't that fantastic.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Thank you very much, Ms. Chizoba.
All right.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
Sharing your experience with us.
You're welcome.